Yo, everybody, it's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week on a second attempt at an episode that had 15 minutes of race. My boy Dave, let's get right back to it because we were hot into football talk, and you can't even get it. Ooh yeah!
Yo, everybody, it's Heat Override. So let's get to it.
Bring the pain.
Woo! What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
We'll try this again. So,
All right.
ultimately, what happened was Skype closed, and then I guess whatever you did on your end was whatever needed to happen, because whenever you collect it back over, so we did lose 15 minutes, but, we were just talking football and stuff like that, and getting all that crazy stuff done, and how the Chiefs are amazing, and how the Rams are up and coming. And we were just actually doing like a runaround. So what AFC quarterback scares you?
I said Josh Allen, dude.
Is it?
Allen.
Okay.
He's probably the only one that's...
yeah!
I hate the Bills. They're just pesky team.
I agree about that. They're pesky. They have a good defense, but it seems to give up a lot of points. But the Patriots are nowhere near. I'm not too worried about Cam Newton, although I think he still can play.
Right.
Sam Darnold, up in the air and down about. You want to hit over. I'm not scared about Miami. Jacksonville, they look confused. The Titans, no Tannehill for me. So, honestly, I mean, and we're not scared of Philip Rivers, are we?
No. Last time we played him, we got 4 interceptions on him. So
Yeah. So you guys got it easy. The Rams pretty much are going to have a lot harder road, with San Francisco's defense still pretty geared. And, Dallas is still pretty good. The Vikings can score. The Eagles are really deep. And I think this year with COVID, you got to have a deep team.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And the Rams are not deep. They're not deep. Yeah.
Have many good backups, huh?
Well, tight ends, we got 2 good starting ones. But, I mean, when you go Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, then you go to Josh Reynolds, and then it just right off from there.
Just goes down, huh?
Well, and all that money tied into Aaron Donald. And then, there's still cap hits with, Gurley coming out. So, and we just paid Goff, and Ramsey. So, when you got that much money, our linebackers are a little back and forth. So,
Right.
I think it's still going to be a great season to watch, though. That's my opinion.
I think is it my audio or your audio that's cracking up?
I don't know. I could try to move me a little heavier. That's a little
You're cracking up a little bit.
cracking up. Maybe I can go down like this. How's that sound? Does that sound good?
Keep talking.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounding a lot better?
It's clipping in and out.
It's clipping in and out. A little weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just like the internet thing. It could,
Maybe.
I mean, overall, this thing's going to record what comes through the microphone at first. So I think that could just be, and I hear that sometimes is with Skype. Like, you sound pretty good over there. So there's nothing going on with, on that end. So that's the good thing. So, and
Good.
it's, again, we just lost 15 minutes, but that's okay. I still think that it's going to be an amazing football season. The Chiefs, and for the 15 minutes that was gone that we were talking about, because we kind of started this episode back abruptly, Dave and I were talking about how the Chiefs went through quarterback struggles, never really had a good quarterback from like Len Dawson years. Elvis Grbac wasn't really anything. They got Alex Smith later in his career, wasn't mobile, couldn't make the Mahomes throws. And, and then, of course, we brought up the Mark Bolger years, the Sam Bradford years, and, everything from the greatest show on turf, and, of course, Kurt Warner's journey to groom Mark Bolger, groom Eli Manning, and ultimately take the Cardinals to a Super Bowl to lose the Steelers. That's pretty much that 15 minutes rounded up, man. We talked a lot about quarterback play, and I think that's still evident in this league today, is having a quarterback, and your team has the best.
Well, we waited a long time for that, so.
You did. You did.
Waited a long time. So people, you must be nice. I'm like, yeah, if you were a fan of the Chiefs for many years, you struggled. So
Yeah.
it's a blessing now to have something like that, you know?
It is. It is. I think that the cool thing about it is,
Ooh, yeah.
you know, when you finally get that quarterback, and I hope that Goff can turn into like something, but sometimes you can't teach intensity. And then there's fake intensity like Phillip Rivers,
Yeah.
and then there's intensity that Mahomes brings,
Yeah.
you know. And like Jackson, you know, Jackson right now, he's really good at running the ball, but it takes that one knee injury like Mahomes had last year to take that away, and what do you have outside of that?
Exactly. Well, it's going to be a telling year for Lamar Jackson because everybody's not had a chance to see him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The plays.
what happens?
They're going to have to definitely switch some stuff.
Shit ain't going to work no more.
No.
They're corral him up, and he ain't going to be able to go nowhere.
Yep. They'll figure out the formations and everything, too, and the audible to them, so then that's going to end up being what, you know, they do the most. So, yeah, I mean, football, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. Do you have any fantasy teams this year?
No, I'm out. I retired from fantasy football.
I know. I believed you last year.
And look, we won the Super Bowl, so I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. You didn't have to have all different sorts of heartaches and stuff. You know, I took it into a dynasty league, and then I'm doing a DFS style league. So every week it's going to add points up for the whole year, and then at the end of the year there's a payout structure for like all the top teams. So I think it's like the top half of the league gets paid out. So it's not bad. It's going to be for like a lot of money. So, you know, I'm going to try that out.
This league's going to be like in the well at your McCormick Coffee.
Yes, yeah. It's going to still mud. There's still like dry mud on the bottom. I don't know if Keith will try to mop it, but I don't see Keith mopping.
I was talking to Ryan the other day. I said, "Where's the draft going to be? Ain't going to be at Fox now, and I bet."
No.
I was like, "No, it's going to be at McCormick."
That's so, and then he had to get this clicky draft thing for because the Poto Snacks have been pretty much furloughed this whole time, so they're going to be in the draft at home, so they're going to draft on that thing, and then everybody else. Andy Dick's in it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he kicked Mike Nelson. I don't even know how that happened. Like, I was like, what?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like out of nowhere. I mean, Keith knows if he was a slow pay or something, but Mike Nelson was out, and then though I'm pretty sure the one that he wanted to remove was Ed Heath because Ed always tries to be late and stuff like that. But hey, whatever.
Wow.
It's
That's cool.
I had some crazy things happen in my draft too. People didn't put keepers in. I had to like move the keeper date, and then I had to log into the computer to actually do that. So it's just like I think people are really not prepared for this year because of the COVID, and they kind of just didn't think a draft was going to happen, even though I set up the draft like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
You know, so.
That's it is what it is. You know, we just got to adapt. You know, to the situation.
Yeah.
You know? You gotta bring the pain.
Oh yeah, you want to bring the pain? Yeah.
Bring the pain.
Yeah, I'm ready to bring the pain. So let's.
I made a new song for the thing, but I took it instead. It's one of my tunes now.
It's supposed to be.
Working on it, and I'm like, well, I'll just keep this one for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's got some Chinese, some martial arts shit.
Yes. You know, Tommy and them, they were trying because they're what people are keeping Tommy G and them off their air for is because Skrillex made that song for Tommy G with the whole, you know, Mr. Miyagi thing. And he has rights signed over from his record company, but they pulled him off Spotify and everything saying that it was copyright infringement even though Skrillex made it for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they're in this like huge legal battle, so they had to kind of take a step back a little bit with that, and their lawyers told them to just wait before it. So while they were looking for somebody to make like a electronic kind of sound, and they're taking like submits for it. So like when you said the whole music and the whole Chinese effects, that's kind of what they're looking for. But you know, just yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, once you get done tinkering with it here and there, drop it in there. I'll listen to it.
I'll let you hear it.
Yeah. I won't put it on the podcast until you want it on the podcast.
I'm working on an album. I got like 6 songs done for it.
Yeah. I actually have music down as one of our topics, so go ahead, tell us about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's just working on it a little bit every day,
Mm-hmm.
and just learning how to work the program and make it work for you, and using, get more in depth into the sounds and all that.
Yeah, you're right.
I've been working on it. Yeah.
That's it's a thing. It's just the same thing with the podcasting, and the 15 minutes we lost is all it takes is one app to crash, and then you're like, well, it's telling me to do this, and we should just like maybe gave it a few more minutes, would have figured it out. But regardless, it doesn't matter. It's still going to bring pain, and we're still going to have some fun.
The more you do, the better you'll get at it.
Exactly.
So the more hours you log in at doing it, then you'll start learning, okay, this is how to do it now,
Yeah. And then, like I see people move from Skype, and of course me using Spreaker, I can upload my episodes to it, but I haven't really gone into just grabbing the whole sound and audio recording devices and then just doing one big, record, because when I, for the casual counsel for Flying Casual, he records the whole video up front for the YouTube. And then, I know he has a Patreon, so I don't know if he's using it, but I'm pretty sure Michael went to school for all this, so he has, the programs. So he records pretty much everything into that. Like, I can see that we're recording right now because it has everything right there and stuff like that, but, when we're on there, he uses Skype. He uses Skype for all of his stuff no matter what, but then, that's why I got these headphones, and they're monster headphones, because, I was like, I wasn't going to buy a cheap headphone, and I was using my earbuds, which are really good ones. They're like $300 ones, but my phone, when I'm on my phone with them, my phone has that powered jack, so it's like everything's like hi-fi. So when everybody else is coming out smooth, I'm coming through I come through higher on their recording devices. Whereas if I use one of my microphones over there with my phone, and I haven't tested this yet, but when I use one of those microphones, I come out beautiful on the phone and the computer as well too. I've noticed when I did the live feeds and I had the audio being recorded on the phone, and then I had this, I figured out that I couldn't put a microphone here, that I needed both microphones in front of me so that they got that direct sound. Meanwhile, I was able to make that look with the computer with that whole backdrop setting. So, but it's all learning. It's all about having the right tools and the right things to do it. And, I think for me, and I assume for you, COVID has actually gave us the time to do all of that stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I wouldn't have been, if we were out doing trips, and I wouldn't be able to work on that stuff, so.
Yeah. Or, like I said, buying stuff too. You don't have time to look for it when you're running an everyday life.
I wish I have this acid music program that's perfect for recording podcasts, and I was like, but it's mine. It's registered to me. I can't share it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I would have to go buy one.
And I use it for certain things, for audio mixing and stuff like that. But I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That Bring the Pain mug is awesome, dude. So I went and I got because Miss McKay, she's a pain bringer, so she pays $10 a month for my thing, right? Because that's one of the levels that I have, 2, 5, and 10, and one of being that level, you get a gift. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go get the big travel mug. So I figured that some plastic thing was gonna come. This thing is embossed metal. It's freaking completely metal in the inside. It twists in. The cap is simple to clean. It's not one of those stupid-ass caps that kind of has the intricate, little designs to go through. And you're like, man, the minute this thing gets setting in some shit, it's always going to be nasty. Or if the kids use it and they put Kool-Aid in it, it's over. If it's red Kool-Aid, it may be a black lid, but it's still stained and you can't see it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Kids get a hold of it when it's over. So.
It is. That's why we have so many cups.
Yep.
It's like those straw cups too, man. I don't fuck with that shit. You know?
No.
It isn't worth it.
Hell no.
So yeah, I was actually pretty surprised with that. So that was some really good quality, and I think I get a discount for it. Plus, I also when anybody buys stuff from my T Public, I get a percentage of the cut. So as the artist, because that's what it's about. Everything on there is made with like that's copyrighted to me. The Bring the Pain podcast, yeah, that's mine. So when that goes on there, I can put that on there. I want to make a new shirt though, because to get rid of the space in the bomb. And we were some people came down the other day to pick up some jewelry. We were talking for a minute. And we were talking about shirts, and we were thinking a great quote for a shirt is almost like the UP at Pennsylvania. You got a friend? I feel like I know somebody. Then on the back, bring the pain. Something stupid, like I don't know, just some stuff. But then, I brought up you got a friend. Then I thought about Carlin. Yeah.
So you might have acquired one.
Like, ran across somebody, It's so like we and Stu had this stupid sayings moment and stuff, but yeah, I mean that's why that night we got a little crazy and I started throwing like stupid rhymes in that thing and just sending them over to you, man. But I didn't care because I know if like whatever I say, if anything sounds good, you can take it, sample it out, and do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
So that's
I got
awesome.
A bunch of your audio clips on my desktop right now.
Ooh,
You know the phone actually updated to where I can have like a whole bunch of sound effects like the board here. It doesn't do. I can do two sounds, but like right now in front of me, this is like a mixer, whereas like it has a mixer and the fader in the middle, and I got two tracks at one time, and I can play two tracks at one time where I can't play two tracks at one time on this, but. There's a way you can work in those sounds. Like I could work it in as a sound effect, put it back in, and kind of slide it down. So, going from the phone to this was cool. But to see that update on the phone, I'm like, well, damn, now I need more sounds.
Well, I think you need to get more guests on, too.
Yeah.
Because then I could pull some audio and make like a nice intro where I can, have you asking a question and then answering it.
I know what you mean.
In the background.
Yeah. The way they kind of do it, and then you hear somebody says something, and like there might be that moment. Like my last one was the one where I was like I was done, and I think I screamed that whole podcast. With Chrissy Ray on it, but it was fun. It was like I was done, and that was the end. And when you said there was an end of Corona Mania and politics for me, that's it right there. Like that's all I'm going to talk about it on. And from this forth, it's football, it's video games, it's music and stuff like that. So yeah, like you making that. I was the other day. I was trying to think of a way to like make a Bring the Pain song, of course, and throw out some rhymes. And I was trying to try to make a reminiscence back to my old school raps. And I thought about press up for bass. And I was like, what if I put that press up for bass on a shirt? Because if you remember, we did that because it was all about space. and it goes with the whole like planet thing. So I don't know. There's a lot of things to go on, and I think that I didn't mind having this time off from work. I didn't mind no time in my life ever was I healthy to do this amount of time off. So
no, I mean it's a good thing, man. It's awesome. You just got to keep plugging away at it.
That's right, dude. That's right. So I mean, yeah, I apparently had a question to see where you would like to go with your music, but you're making an album. So that's you kind of answered.
Songs deep.
Yeah. What do you think's going to be a full album for you? 10 or 12?
Like 15 songs.
Okay, that's nice.
That's the number I got in my head.
Okay, I like that. Yeah. Is it because of Mahomes?
I'm going to probably put a couple of the ones I did with Brian on there.
Uh-huh.
After I remaster them and all that. And,
Bring the
Yeah.
pain!
Most of it's going to be all instrumental, originals,
Yeah, and just kind of just keep it like that. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Show
I
off their
got a
stuff.
bunch of stuff in the, but I just got to finish it,
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll get an idea and then I'll jump on it. And
Uh-huh.
sometimes I forget about it and I come back.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I have to get motivated. Once I get motivated, I'll be on it for a little while.
Yeah, it's kind of like advertising. Like there's when I do the advertising for this show, sometimes I kind of just really go after it because once it's done in that small amount of time, and then I don't have to worry about anything else.
Right.
So and then with Chrissy doing her Bling You Crazy thing, I got that shut down by the WWE. I was on a roll in the last couple of weeks, getting blocked by YouTube and blocked by Facebook, getting in trouble and shit. Dude, I went on and I was watching the Karrion Kross Heath Lee match, and I had it over to the side, but I was like, "Whoa, what's going on?" I mean, I was talking. They didn't remove it till the next day, but at the time I was like, Keith Lee lost. I was like, "Yeah, Karrion Kross, look," and I went like that, and that they probably when I went like that, that was broadcasting a pay-per-view live at that same moment. So, I guess apparently
You should do a pay-per-view watch party.
That's what I was thinking. Like, we didn't get time to set it up, guys, but tonight I was kind of like, I had the casual counsel, but I kind of was going to maybe just say, hey, guys, I can't really do it tonight, and we have our first draft tonight. So me and Chrissy are going to be on our phone, so I figured, well, what if I just take the table, push it back, and then do the live video record of us drafting on the phone and talking. And I'm like, look at this dude just took this fucking ass player, man. Come on. But they would see the video and then go into the group afterwards and post the video of it. Probably a 2-hour live video, but it would just be, there's us just drinking some beers, drafting some players and laughing and then just looking at anybody else that's making anything happen. But then I was like, I don't know. She probably wouldn't be into something like that, so it'd be kind of funny, but maybe I'll do it. I don't know. Because I have to keep the phone for the draft. Or I could do the draft through the computer and the phone, but,
Yeah.
It's kind of like, which one do I do?
Yeah, well, you just got to come up with some crazy ideas, just thinking about stuff,
Well, I was going to do those candy videos because people love the candy videos, but yesterday, 2 days ago, actually, I was eating Swedish fish, and I pulled out one of my caps. So it broke off. So it either broke off from the glue or it just cracked. I think it broke off from the glue because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I can feel the glue, so they're going to have to go put some cement. Some fucking cement. But now, so I have it, and it's like sitting there in the bag, and it's like if you got your finger cut off, and there it is,
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't had no problems eating, but I'm like, oh, okay. It doesn't hurt. I don't think it'll be a problem when I go to karate this week, but at the same time, it's like I'm going to have to get it done because, it's right there. And hopefully it isn't like a whole big process. Hopefully they could just wipe some more stuff on there. They're probably going to have to ground it down, and then I assume after they grind it down, they'll have enough room to put more stuff in, and then that'll... What the fuck, man? Swedish fish, dude.
You know what you should do? Around Halloween, go to karate, dress up like one of them old Chinese guys. And walk into karate class, and start staring at everybody.
Dude, I get my head taken off. I get my head taken off. When I go, there's this kid, his name is Connor. Every time before we spar, I come over and I hit the floors. Like, it's probably going to be on that documentary. But I come in there at the floors, I go, bring the pain! And he hits the floor, and then frickin', I don't know, like, we get a lot of people, and then I get this one dude, he's just big, and he punches me like a boxer, so he backs me in a corner and just starts throwing body blows into me, dude, and I can't even defend myself. I'm so spent, because I get hit so much. I mean, I block, but it's a whole nother world. It's crazy, it's fun, but you're right, that we talk about films, and the one guy, Len Kanazinski, I think it's pronounced. He's that film guy that's there, and he released he's got the five gauntlets. So that's his newer movie. So I want to go check that out because it's supposed to be pretty good. Like he's supposed to fight 5 different masters. So yeah, and he has a lot of people. Like he has that Lee Fong guy on. So he knows a lot of people that come in from like California to star in his movies, and then he uses some of the TKO people sometimes. Yeah, it's crazy. But what's that?
As I walk in there, like, who wants to fight?
I don't think anybody's Chinese there, but that's like something I can walk in and be like, ha 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 ha. Well, I hear I just wait till like everybody's kind of around and be like, ha 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 ha. Yeah. Uh-huh. I hear it's sparring day. Uh-huh.
Yeah. like Mantis style.
Yeah.
You know?
I do have my workout. Like when I go to get ready to spar, I have this like hop I do, and then I kind of calm it down. It's kind of funny. Yeah, I try to make it. It's like it's not like it's Bruce Lee or anything like, but it's. I mean, I'm not Bruce Lee, not by any shot. But it was cool to meet Billy Blanks there. I know you saw that picture.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see it? You didn't see the picture?
I didn't see it.
Oh.
I didn't see a picture.
I'll have to go tag you in it. Yeah. Yeah, he came in through on Monday because of the documentary. They brought him in, but they didn't know he knew Brian, so it was like a whole kind of funny little thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I talked about Back in Action, and I asked about Roddy Piper.
Oh.
He said he was an awesome guy.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really, and Billy Blanks was really cool as a person too. I mean, you hear it all the time with his Tai Bo, and he's going head storm on YouTube with his Tai Bo, but he looked over to Molly and he was like, keep inspiring your dad to do better. He was like, make him a black belt one day, you know, and she's sitting there, and it was cool. It was neat, you know, being part of that.
That's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah.
And little thing came from it too. They had apparently there was some applications out for Tipsy Bean in Erie. And I'm probably breaking street cred right now, but I don't think anybody's going to catch this. But I don't have YouTube Coleman this yet. But I started talking to them about Mill Creek Coffee and Tipsy Bean. So they brought in this guy from Pittsburgh and had him come there and interview and do this whole thing with Giselle from Tipsy Bean. And it kind of like, she was one of the people, and then when they talked to me, and I suggested her, and they went there, and she suggested Mill Creek Coffee, it became this huge kind of like cool thing that kind of happened. So the film crew went out to Mill Creek Coffee to film, and that's what they filmed. So there's going to be these like, this little tidbits of Yuri. I don't know like who else is being filmed, but I know that like, you know, like where the karate plays, and that was probably the coffee place. So I don't know if it's just a documentary about Erie, because that Glenn guy who did that barbecue place with RJ, he's part of this as well. So
Oh, that's cool, man.
yeah, you know, and
Very cool.
I haven't plugged Bring the Pain yet. I have given that they have stickers, so you know.
Oh,
If someone listens to it and they like your music, man, you might, and listens to this episode, they might come seek you out.
that's cool.
Start making Chinese action movie songs. like,
I had a dude from SoundCloud message me from Texas.
Nice.
And he wanted me to come to like perform.
Oh shit!
Like a new, like music, like new DJ type event. They wanted like new artists. And he said, "I heard
Ooh,
some
yeah.
Think you'd like to come out and perform?" He's like, "I know it's a, you know."
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome.
Like, I can't do that. This is like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's I just can't drop, you know, being a father to like it's something that should have happened a long time ago. It would have been easier, but you can still do it now. But like, I mean, these people with this Tecmo Super Bowl group, I'm like, dudes, I can't just come to frickin' Florida or Texas for a frickin' Tecmo Bowl tournament. How do you even pass that bad of life?
Yeah.
Like, honey, I'm gonna go to Texas and play some Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
when does that not become a good idea? So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you qualified,
Like
what's up?
yeah, they had like a Turbo Graphics Fest thing. I was gonna go to it.
Mhm.
Like a video game, like let's say it was like a challenge, but there was like it was like a room, and they set up a bunch of TVs and had a bunch of turbo play, like all kinds of games. It was like a turbo event.
That's cool.
Like
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's, and that's actually like the thing too, is like getting into turbo and like, getting acquainted with Twitch. I didn't know one of my videos on Twitch that I did for the past year saved up until I logged in on the computer and set it all up, and now my video's saved no matter what I do. So.
Yeah.
And
Can you do a turbo game on that?
I can, but what I would need to do is I would have to have the camera, which I can. I have a separate camera. This camera I have is only 720. My 1080 is over there. I could put the camera on my video game screen, kind of like what I did with my Tecmo Super Bowl 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't... The thing is one, the TV, you have to go with the bit rates because it doesn't transfer to those HD screens well.
Right.
And then it seems...
The new one is an HDMI hookup. The mini
Yes.
got HDMI.
Yeah, so that won't be a problem. So, but what it's going to take is, like, your TV would either have to tune into Twitch to, like, you have to log in. So when I'm on my PlayStation 4, I go right to Twitch, or it says Twitch or YouTube. I hit Twitch, it pops in. Then what I can do is I can log on to this computer, and I can put Twitch, and I can bring the computer onto me. And then leave the game sounds where it's at, and then do what I'm doing right now, put this into the Twitch with this headset, and then this is how, but I don't know how they do that cutout of the background yet. I don't know how they do that.
See, but I think for you playing the classic Nintendo games on there, I bet you get a lot of views.
Yeah, some people play Super Metroid 2 and stuff, but they do a lot of emulators. Like, you can, they have ways, like Zoner, he definitely does it already on Twitch. So, but he's got like 5 computers looking at him. I do. What? But sorry about that.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, he's got it down, so he does a lot of that. But it's always the same games. So I mean, that latest video I did on YouTube with Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super Bowl 3. So I have that out there. I don't know. You probably didn't see that yet, did you?
I don't know if I saw that one. It's on Twitch?
It's on my YouTube, but I put it on my page. I'll just link you in it.
Check the YouTube. I'll look at that. I usually just look at your Twitch now. I don't go to YouTube.
Yeah, because I've been doing that a lot more. Yeah, and I'm trying to do that too with more gaming, but I know when I go on YouTube, I remember one time somebody was like, I logged into YouTube and you were the first top video. I was like, what? And I was doing Star Wars. I was like, I thought that was cool, but so like for some reason I generate a lot of stuff on YouTube as well. So like I've been doing like card openings and like card unboxings and stuff. So I get these baseball guys that come through, and then, but yeah, so ultimately that's where I threw it in there, and I threw it on probably my Bring the Pain page. But yeah, it's funny. I put it in this Tecmo Super Bowl group, and the dude was like, I love the shit talking. It was crazy. It ends up being a close game.
I love that retro game lounge, but he doesn't really play. He doesn't really go live on turbo games as much anymore. Yeah, noticed that. But he used to play him live. And he got all pissed and yelling.
I think I've seen a few of those videos too, just logging in and seeing them do that. And you're right, they haven't been around. And it's funny because for some people they get out of it, but then there's like people like me that kind of want to get back into it. Like I have the new Avengers pre-ordered because I had a 5-hour stream with that, and I started losing my marbles because I was the Hulk, and Iron Man wouldn't go attack the people that were flying in the air, so I had to go attack the people. So I was trying to keep it cool, and I'm like, Iron Man, go up there and maybe shoot somebody. And then I'm like, okay, Iron Man, you really got to get the fucking guys in the air. Like, fuck, guy. So then, but you can log in with like 4 of your friends that at least will fly in the air and shoot people out of the air, so you don't have to go get them with the Hulk. But yeah, you can log in with 4 people and do like all these quests and modes, and like the enemies are really fucking huge, like massive machines, and like Abomination, you fight him like right near the beginning, and I mean the game is amazing. It's really deep, and it has levels and the armor upgrades because it's a Squaresoft game. You know, so it's like an RPG element to it, which is really nice. But you're right. No matter how amazing these games are, you know, and I have the EA Play thing. I paid $30 for a whole year, so I have that. And then, you know, that I have that Nintendo Switch Lite now where I'm just, you know, I just beat Dragon Warrior 1. I have that recorded on there. It's been like, I just want to go play old games. So I've probably put at least 7 or 8 hours in Dragon Warrior 3 as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, who would have thought? Like, why? I mean, but the music's updated, so it's more melodic, so it's kind of nice. You know, it's like, all right, cool. You know, and for some reason, the other day, I decided to play Final Fantasy VII more, so I finished out the one area and made it to the next area to, you know, further the story. So I'm playing a lot of different games. It's just like you said, you want to see those old games, but I have been playing my Super Nintendo. Dude, I'm like really far in Top Gear 3000.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. I did. I was playing Mario the other day. You know, it's about hooking up that stuff, man. You know, because, you know, I was crazy Kramer growing up.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I was. But so you like the old school games, so like hooking up my Turbo or playing some of the Turbo games on the big screen when I'm playing on the Wii. That's also, I could do things like that as well, because that's the Wii U, I should say, playing on that, because I just actually recharged that, because since the Switch arrived, there's no reason for the Wii U, but the Wii U still has those Turbo games on that market, and they're still adding games like to that market, so until that stops, I want to be part of that. I mean, it's just crazy. But did you buy that Night Trap?
No. It's ridiculous.
Dude, the music, when it was dying, and it was like, dun, 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 dun. Yes, but it's a little better because you can see, like, you can play the old school version with shitty graphics. You can play the new one, and you can actually make out which rooms are in the bottom of the screen now. So you're like, wait a minute, so good.
You could see it back then.
No, you couldn't. You were like, hey, what's that in that thing? And there'd be somebody like behind the stairwell looking, and you wouldn't see that, but it's more clear now. So you're like, oh shit, there's shenanigans going on in this room. But then it says hit A to set trap. It says hit A at that moment. I hit A. It doesn't work. I never catch anything. I'm like, what is this? Like, oh my god. But yeah, I don't know. It was like $3, man. $2, $3. I think it was $3. You know, and Dragon Warrior 3 was $10 because that was like $20 originally, and then the other ones were like $3, and I didn't buy Part 2 because I didn't care about Part 2 as much. What is that? Okay. Anyway, what's going on with? Oh, you're. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, you're good. You're good. Yeah. Okay, it got a little weird there, so I kind of, it just said some like weird low internet. So yeah, man, I mean, gaming, music, catching up, podcasting.
Oh, I'm right by the route, so.
It's really fun, just getting into all that stuff, and I think again it goes back to the whole COVID thing. The whole thing has been easily allowed by this, so that's it. So you know what? There's another song that that you made for me, and you know what that means. We're at that point of the show where we do.
Every day at lunch, we get a very special treat.
Yes!
From a very special guy. A guy who has dedicated his life.
It's time for things that make me a jerk!
Ooh, yeah!
Now, who'd you say the jerk was?
Brother. Ooh, yeah!
Woohoo! Let's keep it. Yeah!
Yeah, man.
Alright, things that make us a jerk. Sport fans are jerks.
Oh, yeah.
Can you do? I know I'm a jerk as a sports fan. What are you turning to?
Oh, dude, like during the Super Bowl, here's a good one for you. Watching the game.
To make those like if they're
And
not
it's,
mine.
it's when it's like the second interception of Mahomes. I spit on the TV.
Fucking spit on the TV. I thought Brady was flipping.
Yeah, she was ready to divorce me at that point. It's like, you have no faith in your team. I said, I don't.
I spit on the fool. And then from the after you hawkered on the screen, they went on to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So anytime your team is losing, you should just hawker on the damn TV.
And then I did. I was like, I knew they were going to come back. I knew it. Yeah.
You had to anoint them with your holy get their asses moving spit.
Ooh, yeah.
It's not a pleasant experience watching a Kansas City game with me.
Yeah,
It's not.
I mean, and if you are like a fan from another team going into a stadium, you become the ultimate jerk, literally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they become jerks, and they just like literally come after, which is fine. I get the fandom. If you put it on, if you go to another stadium and you act like a fucking jerk, like you get what you deserve.
No. I promised, I told myself I'll never go to another Chiefs game if it's an away game, because that Bills game was the worst experience I've ever had.
See, I was going to go up there and see the Rams here in like a month.
Oh, dude, it's bad, dude.
I mean, it's canceled, though, but...
Idiots up there, they swear at you, it's not a good environment.
It's a little more aggressive than being just a jerk.
Oh, man, it's bad. I said, no. Ain't happening. I'll go see Mahomes in Arrowhead.
That's where you see him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where you see him.
yeah.
Like, I would love to go see LA in LA, but
yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a WrestleMania in that stadium as well either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's it.
I've been to LA, but all I've seen was the airport and Disney, and that was about it. I didn't see anything else.
No, nothing.
No.
So I didn't know you went to the Disney out there.
Yeah.
Huh, that's cool. That's cool. So,
That was a few years ago.
did you just find a better, the rates were just better to get out there?
No, it was my Connie. And,
Oh, okay.
Angie and Ann, and she wanted me to go out there and experience that Disney, so.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. You know, and that's
We
really...
go to Orlando's Disney. Try to go once a year, but this year, of course, it's a no-go, so.
Yeah. Have you been to Walden in here?
Nope.
No, I haven't either. It's something about 85 to 90 degree weather, wearing a mask, and then walking through all those people. I get that, we have great masks, but it's still a mask.
Yeah,
Still a mask.
Nah.
So,
I haven't been anywhere, dude.
yeah, that's what it's about, man. We'll get that next year, though. But,
Yeah, but see, now, this is your segment.
All right, things that make me a jerk. People who are slow payers in line. I've brought this up before, but now you're on now, so we can talk a little bit about this.
I can comment on it.
Yes, you can. Tell us about your experiences when someone can't just pay for shit.
Oh no, it's bad, especially in the morning when I need to work.
And they're sitting there.
Buying like some groceries at Country Fair in the morning. At 6:40 in the morning, they want to buy like groceries for the house at Country Fair.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, and then
Milk, eggs.
and it's funny watching these people, like, because then they go, okay, and they'd be like $26.83, right?
Yeah.
And then they just stand still for like 5 minutes, and you're like, what is going on? Why? What are you thinking of? I can understand pulling out a couple of cards, and then 1 card, 2 card, 3 card more, but if you're just standing there, what is contemplating? It's like the decision between cash or credit or paying for something, it befuddles my mind. I'm like, just stick the card in. It's telling you to stick the card in. So I watched this lady keep missing when it told to stick the card in. It's like, just put it in there. It's like, insert card. She's like, it says insert card. And then, like, by the time she inserted it, was set. I was like, oh my god. I was about to take the fucking card and be like, there you go, lady. Fucking jerk. And then, now this one, if you want to get crazy with, the last one we're going to do is things that make me a jerk, toilet seats. Do you have, fucking hate, do you have a toilet seat you hate somewhere? Run at work.
The work toilet.
Yeah, what's wrong with it, man? Does the seat come up?
Oh yeah, it's all loose and shit. Fix it.
They won't. I got mad at the one at our place, so they were like, go clean the bathroom. So I fucking fixed that toilet seat. Because, you fucking put it up and it keeps slamming back down. And this should be a simple process of just pissing in a bowl. But yet, you gotta fight this fucking nasty toilet seat that everybody else touches and fucking sits their ass on and pisses and shits on probably. You gotta touch it and play fucking keep it up.
Yeah. I tell people, we have one nice toilet. It's the back bathroom, it's the back toilet. I said, keep it nice. If you want to take your dump for a half hour, keep the thing nice.
Yeah.
Don't go in there and fill it up with toilet paper and shits. It doesn't flush.
Yes.
Yeah, but keep care of it. That's our little escape. That's our little escape.
It is an escape. and people try to muck it up, man.
Yeah. Shit turds floating in the damn toilet. Yeah. Clogging it up all the time.
He's clogging it up. And then, they'll always break the good one, too. Oh,
yeah.
Or they'll use all the toilet paper, and these rich bastards, they fucking don't put any back in there, so then you have to ask the guy in there, and nobody happens to be in the fucking bathroom when you're doing this, so you just fucking ass out. It's crazy, dude.
Well, no, they do. You know what they do is it's their little FU to the company. They clog the toilets up.
Oh, what?
I'll show them. I'll show them and put 80 pounds of toilet paper in there and clog it up.
Yeah, really
They'll have to call the plumber.
Yeah, H-Jack is going to make some money for it today.
Yeah.
Make me work 12 hours.
About it when they see him pull
Oh,
up.
my God. Oh, my God. That's worse than being a jerk. That's being a jerk. Jerk. A double jerk. That's wrong, dude. It's like, at this point, it doesn't matter what you're costing your company. You're putting everybody else through fucking anguish, jerk.
Man, it's adult babies, man. That's what they are. They're adult babies.
They really do exist. Yeah. And they're older than us. They're older than us. That's them, 10 years older than us. They're weird about their ways. Yeah. Don't use phones, weird shit like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I got there's this one toilet seat, because we don't really get to use the bathroom anymore out there. People lock bathrooms, we're not allowed in businesses, so I gotta, strategically double, I used to not have to, I'm like, okay, I can eat lunch here and do this. Now it's like, I gotta do this now, because if not, next 10, 20 stops, there's no option. No fucking option. And it's, so I freaking forgot about this one toilet, and it's a sticker toilet where it takes full strength to lift the fucking seat, because and it gets me every time, and I walk in there and go, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I touched it, and so I forgot about it, and then I went, and I was like, I got to use the bathroom. I was like, all right, then what do I do now? Boom, went in there, forgot about it. I went up like this, and I was like, motherfucker, got me again. Toilets, man. Toilets. I mean, that's just.
I hate them.
That's, to me, that's what sometimes makes, and it makes you a jerk. You don't mean to rude, but somebody or some way, somebody's clogging a fucking toilet to make your company spend money, being a fucking jerk.
Ooh, yeah.
You got it.
And they get a kick out of it, and they do the same people that fight online all the time about the election and things too, but I don't got time for that. I don't. You don't. I know you don't. We took this time and we did other things. Took that money, did other things, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's good stuff. Well, this was fun. I wish we could have had that extra 15 minutes in there, but we didn't. We did make the most of it, though. So, longest live episode ever and things like that. Do you have any topics that you wanted to bring up?
No, dude. I was seeing if you want to ask me anything. I don't care. I'm here.
Yeah. What was one of the craziest things you ever seen me do growing up? Now, there's plenty of those.
Oh, yeah.
What's the first thing that comes to mind? We'll just go with that.
How far do we want to go back here?
You can go back any years. Recently I brought up the any blood to Chrissy, because I was thinking about that randomly one day. Yeah.
Dude, just so many. So much crap, dude. Growing up around you and you going to your house was an adventure every day.
It was.
Who knows what was going to happen?
That's yes.
Dad or Tommy was going to be fighting each other. the Nintendo would get thrown out the door. See that?
What?
Dude, remember that time my dad came home and told us a story about the dude that would eat his lunch and then he grabbed himself? That was like the first time I ever seen a grown-ass man grab himself like that. What the fuck?
What?
To hide his lunch. He was in there eating it and laughing.
Yes.
That was great.
And that's why, and he told us that's why when people would call me my last name, that would always like make him think about that because that kid called him his last name all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can recall the countless numbers of time that we'd be in school and then you'd pass me a picture and I was the one to get in trouble for looking at it.
Because I used to, a lot of people that know like us and our friend circle and stuff know that I used to just draw all school. Make comic books. I didn't make comic books like some of the other guys, like Jamil and all those guys. But Pasky Man was probably one of my most drawn things I ever drew.
Oh, I know, yeah. We used to do all that kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, it was just fun, dude. It was fun growing up back then because you didn't have to worry about all the crap going on today, man.
You're right. You didn't hear about it either. You weren't all over Twitter and Facebook doing all this stuff. You were more so kind of just, you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
And that was cool. Like, I remember so many things. Like, I remember when you traded John Dulesky for his Sega Genesis for like one day, and I gave you a hug. What the fuck am I doing, giving a man a hug because he traded his system so we could play some Sega? Well, I fucking bitched about Sega Genesis for years. Oh, fucking shitty system.
Yeah.
I think we did it for Splatterhouse too.
If you were a Nintendo guy, you hated Sega. That's the way it was.
It did. In the end, people like Ricky E. and all those people lost because Nintendo, eventually Sonic was on a Nintendo.
Yeah. But,
so,
that's why I'm glad I had a Turbo. I was neutral.
You were.
I was a different kid.
You were. And I mean, that year, it wasn't like that year that everybody got Nintendo and my dad went and got the Atari 7800. It was like you actually got a more powerful system while everybody else was kind of just getting Nintendo or just getting out of Nintendo, going to Super Nintendo and Genesis.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't even, dude. I keep trying to think back on how that happened and how I got it. I remember we went to Children's Palace, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
Not Toys R Us, but Children's Palace had the kiosk set up and had the Turbo on there. And it was all us, Connie, or, Carla and Angie, and it was my aunt. And that caught my eye, the Turbo thing. And I went over to play it. I was like, I want this so bad.
Yes.
Plus, I told my mom that I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was expensive back. It was like $250 when it came out.
It was.
It was expensive, man. So I was like, oh, and I got it. And I just kind of flipped, man.
Yeah. It was fun. I remember us going over to your house to play, and of course you were always the best at the Turbo.
Yeah. Well, I was the only one playing it.
We come over there with our Super Nintendo fingers, and you're like, you can only put the power shot button on 2 on this game.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Oh. I'm sitting there hitting 3 shots at once, and it's not even counting, but like in Legendary Axe, man, I remember just me, you, DeWan sitting in that living room playing that game all night. That and Dragon Slayer. Oh my God. We beat it though. We got it. I think it was you that beat it in the end.
Maybe.
Because we were all switching between each other through that whole game. So like, it's kind of like when me and Passamani played D. That it was a vampire game. It was called D for the 3DO. It came out on the PlayStation after that. But we just sat there one night all playing it, and I ended up taking it back because I was like, this fucking movie, man. I was like, fucking beat the game one night, and it's supposed to be great. I'm never going to play this game again. I don't care to play this game again. It just, I remember everything. It's like something, and here's something I never actually knew. I actually beat Super Battletoads because we went and did a playthrough, and I remembered the whole ending, and when I got to the ending, I was like, wait a minute, this happens, that happens, and that happens. And I'm like, oh my God, I've beaten Super Battletoads and I never even knew it because when you beat so many games, things just get muddled.
It starts to get lost. Yeah, it gets lost. Yep.
You know, and you get older.
Oh yeah.
So, but you know, like you're right about that turbo. Like that was stuff. But so I remember us growing up and being huge wrestling fans, and all me, you, Dwan, and Kevin, they would go be Demolition. We would always have to be like a Macho Man or Ultimate Warrior and the Rockers. Fucking Rockers.
Oh, yeah.
And the year that everybody was Freddy Krueger. Like,
oh, yeah, I remember that.
Like, you and Dewan, no, you got the real claw. Your made claw was really cool because you made the little ones. Mine, remember how big mine was?
Yeah. Yeah, the knives on it were freaking huge.
It was like Wolverine meets Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It was so, Dewan put it on. He was like, dude, this weighs like 5 pounds. What the fuck? How much tape did you use? Had like a completely, that whole glove was complete duct tape. It's like, and you still see it nowadays with my costumes. I still just duct tape everything. But, I mean, times like, growing up with the friends, like I tell Chrissy the parties all the time, and that one time when we went, when Brian, they called him Campo, he got Dave Steele, remember when he kept throwing the pills at him, and then finally the Tylenol, he was throwing Tylenol at camp. Yeah. And then he finally just threw the whole bottle and it hit him in the back of the head. And he picked it up and he did the wind up and threw it at the window. Oh my God. Dude.
I tell this story is probably one of the funniest stories that I recall at your house. We were sitting there playing, I don't know what game we were playing. It was Tommy, me, you, and Chris. And dude, Chris was getting agitated by Tommy. Tommy kept going off on him. He's like, Tommy, if you don't stop, come on, I'll hit you in the face. And then Tommy kept going at him. And then all of a sudden he just got up and just started wailing Tommy. It's like 80,000 punches.
Yeah. I remember that.
Tommy got up and he was trying to peel him off of him. He was just...
Tommy got up. He got like 80 punches while Tommy was doing 5 movements getting up. I remember... Yes, I remember the time Chris, and that became like a little thing where, and that's amazing because my dad just let Chris beat him, and Chris was way overaged. Tommy's like fucking 13. It was like a fucking thing. And Tommy, the one time, freaking, it was one of the last fights they had. Chris missed the punch to the mouth, and Tommy bit him. And he like ripped his skin out, dude. It was so disgusting. He was like, look, he's showing his elbow. And I was like, cool, fuck, dude, don't keep punching that guy in the face. He's gonna bite you. Like, fucking.
I don't ever understand those things. You had to be there to believe it, man.
You do. I actually, when I was talking today a little bit, I brought up the fact that when the night my mom did brought up the Super Soaker drive-bys.
Oh, yeah.
One of a kind. Great idea. Dude.
We were just rolling up on people squirting them. I was like, man, we probably could have got arrested for that.
Yeah, we should have, my mom should have been, the car was overpacked, and we were causing people to wreck, and people were getting angry, and Chris, dude, jumped out of the car because he got so angry. He was flipping out. When I calmed down, he's like, no, man, the cops are going to get us all. We're all going to be in jail. We're going to be in jail. And then we squirted him and we walked away. That's probably why he stole from us. That night, my mom, he walked home and we squirted him and we left. That's some fucked up shit, but whatever. We were kids. And then we squirted that one car. And then they came back, they went home and got their Super Soakers and came fucking back and found us, and we had that Super Soaker fight up State Street. That was the 2-liter bottles of water in a car. I would never let that happened if I'd have gotten that car the next day and the whole back seat was completely soaked?
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
Yeah, and then cheeseburgers afterwards. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. That was amazing.
You know...
Lord knows how it happened. It's like, where you find 20 pounds of meat to make cheeseburgers?
20 pounds of feet. Yeah. And it was like, where'd you hide it from Tommy from? Like, how'd you can't keep that? Yeah, they did lock that freezer in the cellar, though, but he broke that. Because he was hungry. He went down there and was like, Philly steak. Like that scene from Fatso.
I remember coming over for pay-per-views, and your dad and Bob Robinson would be sitting there, and he'd always be boiling some chicken.
Yes.
Some chicken boiling.
Always boiled chicken. I hate it. It always make the house smell like boiled chicken. Yeah. And then what? And then their excuse was because it falls off the bone. But then you have to go look for the other small shit.
Yeah, and that mixed with Bob Robinson's cologne. Yes. Would made a weird aroma.
It did. It's almost like chicken and waffles, but it's not. It wasn't even like Old Spice. It was like, I still to this day don't know what it is, but I can guarantee if we found Bob Robinson, he bought the whole company out. Literally probably has like, whatever cologne that is that he has, it's been made all of time and never went away.
Yeah. Remember the infamous WCW? We all fell asleep.
Oh, yes. Dude, I actually found some WCW cards. Like, yeah, a whole bunch of times they do like an unboxing of WCW cards. I'm like, this guy's shit. Barely win them. Who gives a fuck? And then some wrestling guys, he'd be like, hey, what's this? When I did that fucking countdown, the March Madness, somebody was so mad I didn't talk Gordy. What was it? It wasn't Lutez. Who's the other wrestler that was big time back then? Buddy? Lutez beat him for the championship eventually. But it was before him, yeah. He was like, this isn't a real wrestling if this guy isn't involved. And I'm like, yeah, I can't, oh man, dude, he went on and he wouldn't even take no for an answer. I was like, I said at the beginning of it said 80s, it said went through the Attitude Era, went through the Bret Hart era, and it went through the Now era. And the Undertaker ended up winning, but it was funny that he was like, even if I put that wrestler in there, it wouldn't have mattered. Because I did throw in like Ivan Putski, but that was because that's who my dad talked about. Superstar Billy Graham. Those were the wrestlers that my dad talked about. My dad wasn't fucking talking about, can't even remember his name. Some wrestler guy's like, this guy, if he's listening to us, he's like, this guy. They probably be surprised me. I know Lutez, but, yeah, we know him. And it was, wrestling growing up, like, that WCW pay-per-view, it showed where WCW really was with us. It wasn't entertaining. Yeah. It didn't work. The wrestlers were lame. We used to make fun of them because they would use real names.
Yeah.
Like right now, you can still say, but like, our company doesn't have John Cena. It has The Undertaker. But, and eventually names did become, that. But, yeah, those WCW events, and then me, like, calling you up when the Giant first came out,
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah. The days of the illegal cable boxes. There's a whole other thing with that whole discussion, because there's night calls.
Night calls.
Oh my God, how that became a fashion was like, what the fuck? But it was hilarious. More exciting than Dr. Ruth. The good days, man. That's it. Well, I know we've done this for a while. I think our wives are going to come after us soon. Mine will. Because I got.
Calm down and do a jewelry thing.
Yeah, dude, there's a whole thing about that because I was like, go live. So like, she just went a big live on Tuesday. Well, she gets a box Monday and Tuesday, so she's gonna go do this. I think she's gonna do a little live like Tuesday, and then she's doing this huge unbox. She's gonna do her new box that's smaller on Tuesday, and then she's gonna unbox live on Friday the other new box that she got. So
that's cool.
I don't know how she's gonna not open it, but she's supposedly she's not gonna open it and do that. And it's kind of fun. I mean, the people got a kick out of me trying on the jewelry. That was kind of fun, you know. It is. It's not that I'm gonna do it every time too, but like I do, like I come in there and at that time, like that the first time I did it, I was off of a jacked up bring the pain. So I was like, holy shit, and I went in it, and then she's like, shh, don't say that, and I'm like, and then of course leads to the last time with the pay-per-view and stuff. So do you even watch the wrestling with the NXT in the crowd?
No, I haven't watched. I watched the clips now. I can't watch it without the crowd, man. Well, it's a little better now with the virtual crowd.
Yeah. Oh, that's better than the NXT people. The Thunderdome?
Yeah. I like the Thunderdome.
That was cool.
I started watching it again. Like when it had no crowds, I was like, yeah. I tried to dig for them talking shit to each other, but we didn't watch a lot of it either. We just got updates, read what Busted Open, because Busted Open is very informative through their Twitter. And their podcast that they do really just gets to the meat and potatoes, you know? Yeah.
So if you just do that and listen to that, you don't really have to listen to the full Busted Open episode or really watch Raw. You can just really do that. And, so, yeah, I like the Thunderdome kind of thing. I kept looking at the background. There was this one moment, like, near the beginning where this kid, you could tell somebody was just, like, filming this kid. And, like, from above, they kept going in and out, and the kid was just staring at him. And it was kind of funny because you get to see into that many people's houses. So, like, the one dude went and got something from the fridge. I was like, okay, he's getting a beer. What's going on over there? And then some people were just lost. And then the one guy had the Dave LaGreca head. That was cool.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Cool. It's better. It's better.
Yeah. And
It's definitely better.
just so Roman Reigns coming back, it's more just puke for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess with Paul Heyman now, it's probably all right, but
Yeah?
maybe he'll have more than 2 moves.
He'll have a third.
Yeah.
It'll be that.
No Superman punch. He didn't Superman punch yet, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, do you think that Retribution? Do you think that
I don't know who that is. I think the girl is Ember Moon.
Yeah, because of the hair.
I think they're NXT people or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people that like didn't get a shot.
Yeah, like people that you putting behind the glass and not giving them shots because the other wrestlers are now in their, let's say, their home, doing all their shit while they're taking away from them. So maybe that's that. I kind of find it funny too because I was like, man, this is just them making fun of freaking like Antifa and shit. Like, it's really because over the years, when Andy was talking, because Andy and Nick are huge wrestling people, and Chris not so much on Pod of Thunder, but Andy brought up how back in the 80s the WWE would just poke fun like with the whole Sergeant Slaughter part with the Iron Sheik, and that time was like the Cold War, coming out, and it was like they brought that up, and that's kind of like what I looked at that as. But they were saying what's his face, Aleister Black, if maybe he was the main guy in it.
Oh, really?
I mean, not saying it.
He's wrestling on SmackDown, I think, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's out. He's back. But
he just came. Yeah. I don't know who it could be. I really don't have any theories on him.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of them, but I haven't seen too much, and they're kind of smaller, so they're not like any bulk to them. And then I was talking with another gentleman that watched Matt from karate. We've been watching a lot of the matches, and we were talking about Orton and the matches Orton has had all year have actually been like A+ matches all year, and I don't think he'll get regarded as like saying the wrestler of the year because nobody's going to really think about him. But I think if you go back and you go up to these last matches, even losing to Drew, I didn't feel that match. There was no reason for Randy to have that belt. So for me,
that was a good match.
Yeah, it was good, and both men were strong. Mm-hmm. So they both can do what they do, but you go back to the matches with Edge and all the product that he's put out, bringing back the kick to the head, kicking Shawn, kicking Flair, up with this build up, and then now, Roman Reigns is back on the other side doing his thing. It's just kind of like, it shows like how Randy can really work with anybody, jump from brand to brand, and put on it. So I don't know. He probably won't get it, but I think his matches this year, including the matches with Edge, and then, of course, with Drew McIntyre and everything else in between, he's just doing it every day. Every day he's just putting out that work, doing it. And what more could you want? But it was nice to see those two cookie cutters in that ring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was good. Pretty good.
That was good stuff. So, I guess there's one tomorrow. That's
I think so.
Payback,
I got a DJ tomorrow. I got a diaper party or something.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
It's Lorraine. She's pregnant.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that on the Facebook. Yeah, that's who I was thinking it was for. But yeah.
They want me to play music, so that's what I'm doing.
Play some early JoJo Siwa.
Yeah, maybe.
Candy shop.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, man. Well, let's get to this Saturday. It was amazing. First guest on a live stream through Skype. We had a hiccup. We recovered well. And it was an honor because I did want you to be the first, and you were the first. So that's awesome.
I'll be back.
I know you will. Yeah, and then we can get to where we get a few of us having a little discussion when we get into this. But I wanted to do that, and I wanted to have Brian on too, and then talk, and then see just have it all together. But the watch parties, my cousin Amanda brought up the wrestling watch parties years ago, because I just get jacked the fuck up. You just. Yeah. But I mean, so you can't show it, but if they hear it in the background, are you still? Okay. You should be okay.
That's fine.
Yeah. All right, brother man. All right.
Man.
Well, it was great. You have a great one. And thank you for being the first Skype, the first live, and working through it. Because
awesome.
When it comes to it, you gotta always remember to bring the pain, Dave. Ooh, yeah.
Alrighty, man.
Bring the pain.
Thanks, dude.
Ooh, yeah.